The death toll from the wildfires in LA has risen now to 24. Elevated wind conditions are threatening to worsen the fires as more than 105,000 residents are under evacuation orders. More than 1,300 fire engines and 84 aircraft have been deployed to contain the fires. 14,000 personnel have been sent, including firefighters from Mexico and Canada too. The Governor of California has deployed 1,000 extra National Guard members to battle the fires. The additional troops will bring the total number of National Guards to around 2,500. Flames are continuing to burn across the city. Emergency crews managed to get a grip on some of the blazes, but the two largest fires, which are Palisades and Eaton, are largely out of control. The Palisades fire has spread to more than 9,500 hectares, while the Eaton fire has grown to more than 5,000 hectares. For more updates, we have Annalise Nielsen at the scene in Malibu. Annalise, authorities gave a briefing on the situation a short time ago.
They did. There's still tens of thousands of people in Los Angeles who want more answers, those who've been displaced, those who've lost their homes, and those who fear they could soon be in the path of these catastrophic fires. What we're seeing now is the spreading of these fire fronts in largely unpopulated areas, but it's the continuing threat that they could bear down on the very highly populated suburbs of Los Angeles that has so many people here still absolutely terrified. What we've seen is an increased presence around these evacuation zones, with police and National Guard now watching those entry points to ensure that only credentialed personnel can go in. That's firefighters, police officers, and some members of the press, which is why we've been able to go in and out. People who live in those homes have expressed frustration that they left in a hurry. Many didn't have time to grab prescription medication, and that's proved to be a particular challenge for many people we've met. Some have left small pets, but there was some help to get them access to the pets so that they didn't have extended periods without food. But this is ongoing and there's no end in sight, which is why the tensions are running so high around Los Angeles for people who want to know when they can safely return to their homes. And for those who've lost homes, they want to survey the damage. They want to see if there's anything left, but there's still very live risks. It's still dangerous going into those areas. And that's exactly why authorities say that they can't let the general public back in just yet.
I know there's a lot of folks trying to get back to their houses. We are very empathetic and sensitive to those needs, but your safety comes first. A lot of these areas still look like they were hit by a bomb. There are live electrical wires, gas lines, and other hazards. We want to make sure you're safe.
While we were travelling around the Palisades today, we watched fire crews dealing with a particular challenge of apartment buildings that might not have burned down but are still very structurally unsound. And so they were doing a lot of spot fire washing out. They were attempting to put out any smouldering wreckage, because that's the kind of thing where if a member of the public was standing outside, the whole thing could come down and it's a new disaster for them to have to try to deal with. We're also watching the death tolls. There's been canine units driving around in those areas that were hit by the fires with cadaver dogs going through to see if there are any people who perished in the fires that haven't been notified yet officially. They can't do that with many people until they have some kind of confirmation, because there are people missing in this huge exodus of people outside of these highly populated areas in Los Angeles. And so this is going to be an ongoing challenge. The winds aren't giving them enough of a reprieve to be able to bring these large fire fronts under control in a very quick time frame. This looks like it will still stretch out into a number of days, and the hope collectively for everyone here is it simply doesn't get worse, that they can really do as much work as possible over the next few days to bring this under control so the city can return to some sense of normality.
So many questions to be answered and collective grief in the area at the moment. Annalise, thank you so much.